What is good, guys? JVG sixfiguresneakerhead.com back for another video. It's primetime Yeezy season. 2 Yeezys have already released, with one coming up, the blue tints. So I'm just gonna go over some thoughts I have about this past Yeezy season. It's very interesting because, Yeezy resale is changing, and we'll talk a little bit about that. So I'll just say that I'm making this video a week after the original Yeezy V2 Belugas dropped, and the day after the restock. Very interesting, Adidas did a restock just 1 week after, because it canceled a lot of bot orders. So that says something about people who have used bots on this release, and that's why I did not use a bot on this release. Adidas is really cracking down on bots and canceling orders, even after they've marked them as shipped or fulfilled. They'll go ahead and a day later send the order cancellation, and it's just wild. So it was the hardest Yeezy to get of the year, followed by the easiest Yeezy to get of the year. There were, I think 20,000, 30,000 pairs of the ugly yellow, semi-frozen yellow Yeezys, and there were about 100,000 pairs of the V2 Belugas, which look much better. It's interesting because I think the ugliness of the yellows came into play with the resale value, because we had predicted that they'd be closer to the zebras in February, before the zebra restock, which hovered between $1,500 to $2,000 pretty steadily. And these were, I think, even more limited than those, but they were just terrible. The McDonald's burger Yeezys, red, yellow, brown. What? But yeah, so those were hard to get. But this general release, even though people said it was easiest to get, and it was an easier Yeezy release, there were still a lot of people out there trying to get Yeezys and ended up empty-handed, so that in the resale price still right now is hovering at the $400 level, which, even though it's the lowest price to date for Yeezys, it's still basically double retail, so there's still profit to be made. And that says something about that. If this is the easiest pair of Yeezys to get, and there's still room to make almost $200 in profit, then you should still go for the opportunities. And the blue tints are kind of in between the yellows and this past Belugas. So yeah, I'll give you a few tips on how to cop the blue tints. Check out my website for the article. I wrote one on how to get shoes using some tips on Adidas and Yeezy supply, the best strategies and techniques on my website, so check that out. Also, just enter raffles. You'll never know how lucky you get. Literally, this pair I got through a raffle. I'll show you guys just because I have it. But yeah, another website that was successful for me is ycmc.com. They have a queue thing. You don't need a bot for it. But yeah, ycmc.com. They have a queue line where you will a queue where you'll go on the website at a certain time, and then within that time they are supposed to send you an email so basically you go on the website and you're given a spot, but and then that spot is only good for 10 minutes, so it takes literally up to an hour for you to get your spot in line. So what I did is I checked every 10 minutes they give you a link, they email it to you. I just checked every 10 minutes to see if my spot was available, if it takes me to the splash page, to the product page. Because I've heard, and I know from the past, that a lot of times, sometimes it's your turn in the queue and they just don't email you, or they do it and it ends up in your junk folder, you don't see it, and then 10 minutes passes up and you don't get your chance. But if you're in the queue, yet in the 10-minute window, you have a pretty high chance of copying. It's like Q.it, it's like the queuing software system browser thing that they use. Also, I think Kicks USA uses a similar thing. So, yeah, like I said, raffles, check out ycmc.com, Kicks USA, and yeah, just like, it's an odds game. That's what I've been telling people. Like, you might strike out some releases, but if you just pay attention to news, you're on time, and you just persist over time, you'll end up with a pair for retail. I mean, it might take some time, and you might be so excited that you got a pair for retail, you might even keep a pair, or you might just flip it. Whatever you want to do. But yeah, that's about it for today. I hope it was helpful. I also, for those of you who don't know, maybe those of you who are new to my channel, subscribe, but also check out my website, sixfiguresneakerhead.com, where I also wrote a full guide. It's 130 pages on how to cop kicks. It goes through the whole history of sneakers. It goes through valuable models, terminology you'll need to know, not getting scammed, not hanging up with fakes. It's the most in-depth, most extensive guide, highly reviewed. A bunch of people have bought it already. A free preview on my site too. So that's about it. So alright, cheers guys. I wish you all the best.